So what's up, guys? Late night here at the shop. It's a Sunday. I figured I'd, spend a couple hours just trying to get ready for the week ahead. And got the car back up in the air since the motor got put in, and just looking at the fuel situation. So you can see right there, we got all of our AN lines. They're running straight to the top of the tank, and they're running all the way down along the rocker panels and all the way up to the front. So these are in real nice shape. They look real good. So the advantage in this case, and you guys probably like, oh, swapping tanks, a lot of time. Why don't you just leave the fuel lines or put some adapters up front? Well, it's really going to be overkill for this motor in here. So a stock line to do just fine, but trying to find stock steel lines, which there might actually be some on this car over here. I'm not sure if you strip the lines off or not, but nowadays using the nylon lines works extremely well. I did it on the 1993 Project Blank, and considering they already got like the little straps and loops to be able to hold the braided lines from back to front, it'd be easy just to run new nylon up in that place. I'm gonna have to get a stock fuel filter up in here, so I'll probably end up grabbing the fuel filter bracket that's off of this car, because I don't think this one has it. And yeah, no, it's gone. All right, guys, got the fuel tank drop down here. You can see the AN line sitting right up there. So gonna go ahead, disconnect those, drop this tank down. We've already crawled underneath the white car, so the tank exchange should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, just 11/16 wrench on there, get that disconnected. There's a lot of fuel in this tank, so it's a little bit of a pain. Probably should have drained it first, but it's all good. Gonna get it down and get everything swapped out. We'll be good to go. Broke that good. Still filming. Broke my GoPro mount. That's not good. That was my favorite one. All right, there we go, guys. Fuel tank is out. Fuel line's just dangling here. So we're gonna go ahead, remove all those lines tomorrow when I get back in. And fuel tank sitting down there on the ground. All right, guys, so on occasion I have whoops moments, and I had a whoops moment earlier today because I took all the braided fuel lines off of the GT because I'm going to run nylon, and in order to hook into these factory lines you need these female adapters at the bottom. These actually came with the mystery motor, and they were fitted up to some metal hard line with some threaded adapters on the end. For whatever reason, I was cleaning up the shop the other day, I grabbed them, I had them in my hand, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to need these, and I tossed them into scrap. And well, here I am desperately needing these female spring adapters for the fuel lines. So I'm holding these in my hand with lemon drop sitting behind me. Why? Because, well, I came in here and I stole them off the car, so I chopped them right off the lines. Kind of a moment of desperation. Wish I didn't have to do it, but the reality is those fuel lines underneath this car are probably going to be a little rusty, and there's really nice mint fuel lines front to back on the white coupe. And if I take those lines off, put them on this car, because the white coupe's going to be getting the supercharged motor anyways, and most likely I'm going to be running those braided lines on it. So everything's going to work out in the end. Just sucks that I had these fittings and I had to come and cut them off this car. So there you have it, folks. We all make mistakes, right? Just got to live with it. I'll be able to get these connectors. LMR has a kit, but it's $50 to get the whole flex line and adapter kit. So hopefully somebody else has these. There's enough material if I need to press new fittings on lemon dropped, but we'll get it sorted. You can see there's some snow blowing here in the background as well, which kind of sucks, but Welcome to winter. Right.
It's all about the angle of filming.
Did you see his last video when he showed Tater hitting him in the arm? And then me and you chirping?
That's it.
So that's going to be the return.
Yeah.
So which one's the return? The little guy?
I'm assuming.
Could have something like that too, but
So we're just gonna get that right in the head.
So the return line is...
we got tape on here that I'd like to get rid of.
See the one with the Schrader valve? That's the main, so this will be the return.
Okay. Why'd you put tape on here? Just to things up? Hope this is the right line.
Oh, did you like hold it up there to see? Well, you can always pull them. You can pull them back a bit.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Here you go. Fuel lines are run. Got the fuel filter housing in place and the fuel filter bolted in there. So these nylon lines are running all the way down, same area that the factory lines would run, all the way up to the front, the inner wheel well, and now connected to our motor right there, all factory like. So everything else is good. I've bolted up the bell housing, transmissions installed and everything else. So just got to get the exhaust back in, even managed to wrestle in that starter. So that's all good to go. You know, there's a few little things underneath here that I want to get fixed from a corrosion perspective, just a few little spots. And I also noticed a crack in the floor right here. So gonna have to pull the carpet up and get this welded and reinforced. This is a pretty common issue, guys. Typically I've seen it happen on the driver's side, but in this case it's on the passenger side. And for instance here you can see a tiny little hole. So need to get that fixed, and there's a little bit of corrosion sitting right here. So I like to be as transparent as I can be with my cars, you know, because in most cases they end up getting sold because I can't keep them all. But you know, I think it's important that whoever is buying something knows what they're getting into. Got everything underneath the car all buttoned up, and it's ready to put the car back down so we can finish up, you know, some miscellaneous wiring. Need to get the distributor installed, a few little odds and ends, and we should be able to fire up this car. One thing underneath is there was this Pro Torque mini starter that was installed before, and I think it was installed to clear the Moroso oil pan. And one thing that I noticed is that right up in here, this main terminal where your power bolts onto that starter, it was practically touching the header, and it was like that when I got it before I took it off and putting everything back together. It was super close, and I just didn't want to risk potentially that arcing out. Last thing we need is for Foxbody to catch fire. So because we just have a standard oil pan underneath here now, I went ahead and installed just a regular 93 mini starter, and there's lots of clearance under here now. Everything looks good. The wires are free and clear of potentially grounding or arcing out and touching metal. We're almost getting ready to fire this thing up, or at least attempt to fire it up. Oil's in, wires are hooked up. I'm just waiting on my friend to bring me an extra distributor that he has so we can get that in the motor, and everything should be good to go. We managed to modify this pipe, shortened it down, got the mass air meter all sealed up to the main intake tube, And now all I need to do is get a stock pigtail back on here so this mass aerometer can get connected. Try now. But it was rolling before without.
Gets my $5,000 offers looking good, eh?
Yeah. Alright guys, sun's going down. Daylight savings sucks because it's like 5 o'clock and dark outside now. Got my timing adjusted here. And looked like the spark plug wires 5 and 6, I had them crossed. Rookie move, but hey, it happens. So really do need to figure out the timing on this thing. It is not idling, you can't give it gas. So I'm gonna go over, check all the lines, vacuum lines, all those other things, and see what's going on here. Dale, your drink's over here. All right, so it's computer swap time because the car won't idle and doesn't like throttle. So you can see the SCT chip sitting out of this A9L and on the top there. And then I have a factory one on the bottom. So just gonna go ahead and plug this in and see what happens.